good, gang? Just finished a 5K run. It's part of the two every week for the mornings. I'm trying to run 10K a week at least for this whole year. So by the end of the year, that'll be about 520 kilometers, which might be close to my record for like a year. Even though I've run in half marathon prep and all that twice last year, I still did not get those miles. I just want to see what consistency gets you this year. So that 10-kilometer a week for 52 weeks is part of that program. But that's besides the point. What I want to talk about is why we challenge ourselves in the first place. Why challenge yourself in the first place is the question that's been on my mind for a couple of weeks now, and I just want to dive into that. Challenging yourself, I think, is what breeds delusion up to a point where that delusion turns into self-belief, and self-belief with actions breeds excellence. That's why I choose to challenge myself, because I believe challenging myself is what breeds that excellence in the first place. So anytime someone talks to me about how they love progress, how they love seeing things come to fruition, I do not go to the point where I say, oh, do something until you're comfortable, and then when you're comfortable, you can make the progress. I always try to say, do something until you feel challenged enough, because I believe it is when that challenge comes to you that you start to develop and you start bettering yourself, because only challenges bring necessity. In terms of challenge bringing necessity, I think the necessity that then breeds the excellence is what comes after that. And what exactly do challenges do that breeds so much necessity that then brings excellence in people? Well, the realization that you lack something is what you need sometimes in order for you to step out of your comfort zone, step out of what you already know, and breed new things. Because new things don't just come out of the blue, although they seem like they do. They come out of a person being curious, a person trying to figure out something that they haven't figured for themselves before. And once that person is able to figure it out, they try new things, they try new iterations, fail a couple times, learn from those failures, and then come back and have that excellence. So that excellence can come after months and months of training, years of work. And excellence can look like a one night success. And then with that one night success, it seems like the only thing you can accomplish. Sometimes you might try thinking that one night success is what breed like success if you do not count on your process. When you think that one night success is a what breed excellence, you will try another one night success. And then when that failure comes again, you stop your iterations. And when you stop your iterations, you stop the excellence that you're going to breed. And then that's how you become a one hit wonder, I think. So it's all in challenging yourself for long enough that your lack of not only resources, but your lack of your preferences in terms of excellence and success is what breeds you to challenge yourself and to make the steps towards a good goal. I've been challenging myself with these 5Ks for almost 5 to 6 years now. But for a long time in those years, I was never consistent. And this year, the one thing I'm just counting on is consistency. Consistency, I believe, is the name of the game. And that game is what I'm playing right now, what I'm playing at, until further notice. If this fails, I won't try out a new thing. But I'm not trying out two things at the same time, because that breeds distraction. And distraction is what breeds people to stop when they are making progress at something. So multitasking is not really my thing. I feel multitasking can be for other people. So I'm challenging you to challenge yourself and not try something new, even something that you've been doing for a long time. A lot of us have different things that we talk about when we introduce ourselves. We say we're different types of people, but we're never consistent in being that type of person. And then the people among us only who see a fraud. And we don't want to be frauds. We want to be true people who do true things and stay truthful to their words. So your words mean something every time you say them, every time you try to convince someone that you're actually someone worth investing time, effort, even money into. We have to live up to those words. I work with some people sometimes who do not challenge themselves, and then when they don't challenge themselves, it feeds this sort of negative energy into people who are trying to challenge themselves, or people who have not yet reached a point of awareness. Sometimes we try to think that everyone gets aware of specific things, but sometimes people don't. And those people who are to be made aware of the fact that they can challenge themselves will never know that they need to challenge themselves if we who are aware are not challenging ourselves in the first place. So use your platform in different ways to let people know that you can challenge yourself and excel at it. The top 1%, or as people like to call them, I think in any field, in any sport, in any discipline, coming to money and all of that, are people who have challenged themselves so much so that they get to a point where nothing is ever enough and they still go for more. Going for more might look like trying to beat a world record that you currently hold, trying to beat a speed record that you currently hold, trying out different designs based on the same concepts just to see how much of an edge you can get. I watch a lot of Formula One, and even the team that is dominating an era does not stop developing. I loved watching the Mercedes domination era because that's when Lewis Hamilton won the most. One thing I liked is towards the end of the turbo hybrid era, when Mercedes was dominating so much, which is around 2020 to 2021, their car became so quick that it looked like a rocket ship on the track. That means that they never stopped developing it. Even when they seemed like they were years ahead of the other teams, they just kept developing that car until it saw not only its true potential, because its true potential was probably what they discovered at the factory when they first made it, when they made the first iteration. I think by the end of the 2020 to 2021 season, it was not the car realizing its true potential. It was literally the car realizing its greatest self and seeing its greatest iteration at that time. Had they been given more time and the rules had not changed, maybe that car could have developed into something even way better. Taking from that example, I would say us as well. A lot of people say we have a lot of potential. I've been in places where I've seen people, and I've also said to people, you have a lot of potential, but those people can always challenge themselves and realize their greater selves. A lot of us look in the mirror and see only ourselves, but some of us look in the mirror and see our greater selves, and we won't stop to pursue that greater self until we become it. And that's where the daily challenge comes in. The daily challenges are what make us people worthy of our future selves to invest in, people worthy of forgiving, even people worthy of trust, peace, and all the awards that come with being a person who is excellent in whatever it is that they're doing. So this is why you should challenge yourself. It makes you worth of all these good things. I don't deserve it is a statement that comes from people who know that they haven't challenged themselves enough and maybe are not aware of it. So they feel like they are inadequate. I don't deserve it sometimes comes from a person as well who knows that they've challenged themselves, and the awards they're getting, the praise they're getting is not merely an end line of things, but it is only the start of something new. I always try to come back to this point where I say the things you have conquered in the past must be fuel enough for you to know that you can accomplish anything and you can get through the challenges that you're facing today so that tomorrow you can also face the challenges that they will have based off of the fuel that you gave them today by conquering whatever it is you conquer. So that's the point, to not only get in the arena and be a player in the arena, but to be the man in the arena, to be the woman in the arena, to stay in that arena so much so that you start to feel every single inch of it, every seed exudes a sort of energy that pumps you up, gets you hyped up, and you're ready to go, you're ready to fight the day, you're ready to fight the week, you're ready to conquer the month. There have been times when I have felt low, I felt like I cannot do this anymore. And those times not only come when I'm not doing my best. Sometimes you might be doing your best, but you might be feeling a bit burnt out, might be feeling a bit, there can be words around you that make you feel a certain type of way and you don't want to continue anymore, but you continue for yourself. One time I posted a bunch of pictures from when I accomplished something, and the caption simply was three quotes: prove it, prove it, prove it. And then after that, I just wrote to who. who do you prove it to? If you're challenging yourself, you only prove it to yourself. Because trying to prove your self-worth to, not your self-worth, trying to just prove yourself to the world makes you play the game of the world. And you don't want to play the game of the world because its rules, its variables, and the end goal is defined by people who do not even care about you, or defined by things that don't even care about you, you know? So if you start playing in this game, it's like you're proving yourself to people who do not care about you in the first place. Take the example of your haters, if you have any haters in the first place. You try to prove yourself to your haters. So you start playing your haters game. Where does that bring you? Nowhere. Because after winning your haters game, who benefits from that? It's only your hater. Who would then know that they challenged you and then you fell for it. And after that, they can find something to throw you with again, even when you're winning their challenge. If you don't win their challenge, then worse. They'll even throw you more. They'll even do more harm to you. So all those negative voices on the internet, all those negative voices in your head, the negative, and sometimes even the voices that sound positive but are simply not your voice that wishes the best for you, are not voices you should be listening to. They should not be voices that should be challenging you because they are not worth it. The only person that's worth the challenge, I'd say, is you and anything that makes you a better person. And friends who challenge you honestly to do better, not only for them or for your friendships, but also for yourself. There are people out there who challenge us to be better versions of ourselves, but we never listen to them because we simply think they want it for their own benefit, or they want it because they see something in us that they hate and then they want that thing to be changed. But there are people who genuinely get happiness from challenging other people and helping them get to a better place, only if they're challenging you to play life at your own game. Because your own game is what makes you bigger, better, faster, stronger, fitter. It helps you gain more knowledge, more courage, makes you a bit more confident. That's why it is necessary to challenge yourself, because sometimes challenges are not only internal, they also come from external sources, but they are signs of meaning, they are signs of the need to make progress. If I had not challenged myself to be here today, I would not have seen the beautiful view that's around me right now. And I stay right next to this place. To just be down here and feel the air, to just be down here and be present in this current moment and still know that I got better at being myself today is good enough for me to know that I can come back tomorrow and do better, do more, and let that consistency pay off. So it's almost the end of the fourth week of January. I've already completed my 40 kilometers. But what that means is for the next 40 kilometers, it's ground zero again. So we're going back to ground zero, but not necessarily starting at the bottom because we already have a solid foundation to the challenge that comes tomorrow and every other day after that. So just do one thing, one challenge at a time, accomplish and become the people who we've always dreamt of becoming. So, yeah. See you in the next one. Thanks for listening. Cheers.